Hello, and welcome to the Sweet and Spice Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily.
And today, I'm going to be talking about two books. Not one, but two. This is a specialty for Kate. I think I've only talked about multiple books in one episode.
Probably. I mean, I covered a whole series, man.
You did.
A universe.
You did.
Of epic proportions.
This is fair. Anyway, today we're going to cover... I only have one of these books in a physical copy. I'm so sorry. We're going to be covering Bride by Ali Hazelwood, if you can see that. Ali Hazelwood. And the other one is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This one comes before the other one. And you gotta read this one for the other one. So we're going to talk about this one a little bit. I'm going to try not to do too many spoilers on this, but I highly recommend, because these books did not come out that long ago. Mate actually came out this year.
I was going to say, those are like new.
They are. So if you do not want spoilers, skip this episode. Thanks.
Dun dun dun. Be so sad.
What? Why are you so sad?
If they skip an episode.
That's fair, but it's only, like, you win some, you lose some.
You just have to come back and listen. That's the rules.
Yeah. I also just realized that I totally did not look at the trigger warnings for these.
You might want to do that.
Yeah, I don't have those written down, so I'm going to have to look up the other ones. I don't know if there actually is any written in here.
Buy you books, send you to school, whole page of notes, and no trigger warnings.
I know, I did so good. I have notes this time.
Bear in mind, they're like small font, front and back.
They are. Kate went ham on these notes.
How could you even read that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. And if I can't read it, it's on my phone. So.
Although, honestly, the note thing isn't to be taken too lightly, because I realize there's, like, different bits and pieces I forgot to mention in books that I should have.
Oh, there's some of these I think that I did leave out. So, we'll see. I could just read them off of my phone, to be honest. I might. So if I'm looking down a lot, so sorry, YouTube. I am going to be reading off my phone because it's a little easier to read from.
It is a lot of effort to, like, look forward and pay attention and do all the things. So, like, people gonna have to just deal with it, because I know I'm constantly moving, wiggling. I have my fidget. I don't sit still, y'all.
I'm constantly looking around. So, especially when I have critters in my office, which I don't today. Oh, God, burps. Which I don't today. I don't have critters in my office today.
There's an Abby on my bed, but she's...
And Abbars, but she's so tired, sleepy, good girl.
She knocked out.
She is. Oh, by the way, Tofu, he getting chonky.
Toodles is fat ass.
And he getting fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so let me look up the trigger warnings.
Triggers. It's way too happy of a thing for something like triggers. Although, to be fair, it's like, it's triggers, but sometimes it's also like, woohoo, what's that? Exciting. Which is probably demented, but it is what it is.
Okay, so.
Why is there a chat window open? I don't want to chat.
You don't want to chat
live.
with me?
We're chatting live. I don't need to type chat too. What the heck?
This is fair. To be honest, though, they have a waiting room on our account thing, so our stuff has a waiting room so that people can just chat but not be on here.
So fancy.
It's like a green room.
I'm like counting down the days till Friday. It's been a long last week. I know, one. Now you're letting
We're
people
recording
know
this very
that
late.
We procrastinate. Good job. I need to hurry up.
I finished the book. I reread the book, I should say, and finished it today. So, anyway. Okay, so the trigger warnings for Bride. Arranged marriage, violence, kidnapping, and gore And then there's a couple other content warnings, including explicit sex content. Obviously, what is this podcast without that?
Duh.
Poisoning, attempted murder, death, grief, animal cruelty implied but not mentioned, but not like, actually done.
Say we don't like
and
animal cruelty.
Also profanity, but it also talks, like, it discusses toxic relationships, blood, drugs, and emotional abuse.
Oh, wonderful.
So, that's the ones for that one.
Sounds like trauma.
A little bit.
A little bit. Emotional abuse. Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I can understand that. And then we're going to look up the trigger warnings for the other one, for mate. Okay.
I just want to insert the I'm your maitre d', what's your pleasure, sir? Like ordering off the menu with your triggers.
That's fair.
The little Disney song.
Okay, so this one is from her website, specifically. The other one I kind of got off Google, so hopefully that's everything from Bride, but I'm not 100% sure. This one, I can't say one of them because it's gonna, I'll say it anyway. It's fine. You guys will know.
To.
I have to.
Legally required.
Okay. Death of several people within context of a war between different species, vampires, werewolves, and humans, is mentioned. That's the same thing for Bride as well. So, frequent mentions of blood, abductions, descriptions of suicide, threats of assault, including sexual and of violence, poisoning and attempted murder, attempted kidnapping / harming of a child. She is unharmed. That also goes for Bride as well.
Good grief.
Death of parents, explicit and graphic sexual content.
Duh.
Nodding, which also goes for the previous book.
Nuts.
Cursing and vulgar language.
Ooh.
Cults and brainwashing.
Oh, fun.
Mating cycles. Child neglect in the past.
Better.
So now she's just got humor, guys. Discussions of terminal illness. Drugs. Discussions of infertility. And discussions of pregnancy. So.
It's just about everything, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just sprinkled with a little bit of everything.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Pretty much. So, honestly, though, these books, 5 out of 5. I really liked them. I liked her take on a were, vampire, human, like, different species, war clash kind of territory kind of thing. It was very interesting to me. She actually did add a little bit of political stuff in here for both of them. Not that bad. But no, it was actually a very well thought out book. Spicy Spice. There's not a lot, but there is, like, if that makes sense. It's not like only one scene. It's a couple scenes, but they're like towards the end of the book. On both sides.
The fuck?
What?
The end?
Towards the end. I didn't say the end.
Twice?
I didn't say the end. I said towards the end, but yes.
Slow burns. Double slow burn. That's sweet.
You're welcome. They're really good. So Ali Hazelwood does a really good job at writing slow burns. I'll be honest with you. Okay? I really love her books. I know you're over there like, not listening. Okay.
Except I am.
I'll be honest, I slept really well last night, so I'm like all over the place.
I went to bed early to catch up on my sleep and thinking I would sleep in, and instead I just woke up early because I went to bed early.
Yeah, I had to get up early for work anyway.
So apparently I don't, need more sleep. Because my body's like, bitch, you had enough hours. Wake up.
Your body said, what's wrong? Why are we sleeping? Wake up. Okay, so we're going to cover now Bride by Ali Hazelwood. The smut is top tier, though, when you do get it.
Eventually.
Very descriptive, very like, yes. I listened to both of these books, by the way, on Audible, because I like to listen to the books.
I still can't do that.
I know you can't.
It's a struggle.
Did you listen to Butcher and Blackbird?
No.
You started to, and you were like, okay, I think I can get behind this.
And then I got ADHD, so.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Okay, so, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Let me turn the brightness up on my phone here for a second so I can read. So, it all starts with Misery Lark.
Misery?
Misery Lark. She is a vampire.
Named Misery.
A vampire named Misery. Well, she was named Misery because when she was born, she has a twin brother. Her twin brother was born first. And then she came out, and she was the reason her mother died. So they named her Misery.
Oh, one of those. I hate those. Like, all the ones where they blame them where the mother dies. Like, it is not a baby's fault the mother died. And that mother would not want you to treat the child like that because she died. Like, it's just so ass backwards.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of information, though, too, is that the vamps, because of how low their birth rates are, they don't have monogamous partnerships. They pretty much go off and enjoy whoever and whenever they want. Her father, so Misery's father, is pretty much the unofficial head of the Council of Vampires. So the fact that it was twins was already like the best thing in the world to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has like this thing that the brother weakened the mother and to almost death, and then the daughter took her out. So there's that kind of thing. So
that trope
there's
has
this
always irritated me. I've read lots of books with it, but it irks me.
The problem is that it does really happen.
It does, but like, it ain't the baby's fault.
No, it's not. Not at all, actually.
Yeah, it happens.
The baby can't control that.
And most of the time, like, well, I mean, okay, I know they're, like, that's just getting into, like, abortion rights and debates and things, but for the most part, if you had the option to not do it and you still had it, the mother is not going to want you to treat her baby like shit because she's dead. That's just asinine to me.
Yeah.
Rant complete for now.
It's dumb. So, anyway, let me get in this now. So, we start off with Misery basically getting told she's got to marry this man. She was used as collateral.
Of course.
Her entire life. From the time that she was like 6 until she was 18, she was used as the vampire's collateral, which means she had to go and live in the human realm with humans, in the human territory with humans, not realm, sorry, territory, with the humans. Basically as a way to be like, okay, here's your collateral, and then the humans had to pass over a human collateral as well. It was basically, if you attacked either of these two, if the humans attacked the vampires would kill the human collateral.
Except they don't care about the collateral.
If the humans killed the vampire, if the vampires attacked the humans, then the humans would kill the vampire collateral. The collateral had to be someone's family or like close to them from power. So the grandson of the governor or something was the human collateral, and then the vampire collateral was Misery. Misery grew up with an orphan because they figured, oh, she needs somebody, right? Because she'll be alone, and she can't be alone. That would defeat the whole purpose of this. So they figured, you know what? Let's give her a companion. So they got an orphan. Her name is Serena. So her name is Serena Paris. Serena is sweet. They're grow up together. They're sisters. They're like tied at the hip kind of sisters. They love each other, everything. Serena goes missing. Serena's a journalist and everything. Serena adopts a cat, and then she goes missing. And I mention the cat because the cat is actually a very integral part of the book, because that is like the one thing that she's like, she just adopted this dumbass fur ball. She can't leave it. She wouldn't do that.
Is Serena also a vamp?
No.
She's human. Okay.
She's a human. So, Serena being human and everything, they're just besties, right? She grows up in Misery grows up in human territory with a human. She doesn't really understand vampires very much, and she doesn't want anything to do with them. Because guess what? Daddy don't care about her all that much. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise, because she killed her mom and all this stuff. And he uses that as a haha. But really, you learn later on he didn't really care about that. He just didn't want her to take over. But also it was like a, hey, yeah, I love you, but only for my own gain. So, Daddy Dearest calls her to the nest. Goes and, which is what basically that's the vampires thing, is they call it the nest. So
we're bees now.
She kind of, yeah. So she actually has a job working as a hacker for a company, and she gets to break firewalls. She basically is at this coding company, and she has a degree in coding and everything like that. She has a degree to do this stuff where she basically breaks people's codes, see how quickly she can get in and out of people's codes. She's very good at it. She can make her own code. She can, do all this stuff. She's very good at what she does. Well, she's at her job. She's known as Missy in the human world for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. And then her father's guard or head guard comes to take her, shows up and is just like, hello, you gotta come with me. Daddy wants you at the nest. So she gets pulled to the nest. And Dad sits her down and says, Misery, it's been so long. And she's like, fuck off, what do you need? You couldn't have just waited until I got to my apartment. And Serena is missing at this point, right? So she's been looking for Serena. Serena is nowhere on anything. She cannot find any kind of digital trail, paper trail, nothing about her best friend. And she's really worried because she had just had a fight with her the night before she disappeared. Aww. But she knows that that's not why she disappeared. She can feel that that's not why she's gone. Plus she had just, adopted the cat and all this stuff. So Daddy Dearest is like, Misery, my baby, my daughter, I need you to marry somebody from the Wares for a political alliance. She said, you want me to be collateral? Again? Yeah. It needed to be someone important, and you're the only one who can do it, because you're the only one of age. And also within the right. He was like, also, you weren't my first choice. Let's get that right in. The first choice said no. The second choice was on board and then backed out. So you're the third choice, and you're going to have to do this. And she said, absolutely not, and started to walk out. And he goes, at least hear about who it is. And she goes, fine, who is it? And he tells her that it's Lo Moreland. And she says, okay, I'll do it. When do you need me there?
Who is that?
Lo Moreland. She found initials. I think it was L.E. Moreland in a journal of Serena's. So she was like, okay, so it's obviously him. I can go find, her. He knows something. If I marry him, I can sneak around, whatever. So I gotta go through my notes real quick because I actually went through a lot of my notes without looking back at my notes. Good on me. So she agrees to the marriage. They get married. Lo reacts really strangely to her. He is sniffing her and is like she thinks she stinks, right?
She's his mate.
She thinks she stinks.
I mean, fair. Somebody's sniffing you.
So he's like not wanting to be around her. He's like taking steps back from her. He doesn't want anything to do with her. He just does this thing. They put werewolf mating markings on her. And what they're really worried about is that this is going to be another aster. So you know the flower in aster, or aster? Yeah, the aster.
Mm-hmm.
Asters are green and purple, right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. So it's called the aster, and it's based off of the flower because werewolves have green blood and vampires have purple blood. And the last time they tried to do a wedding like this, the aster happened where everybody killed everybody. So they call it the aster because of the green and purple flowers.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like, they've tried these alliances a couple of times, and this is I think that was the 6th one, and they call it the aster. The werewolves just call it the 6th marriage. Which you learn later on and all that fun stuff. But so they have to have this wedding in human territory, though, because it's equal footing. It's equal territory. It's neutral territory, essentially.
Neutral.
The humans are on edge. The vampires are on edge. The werewolves are on edge. There's humans flooded everywhere, and then there's also vampires and werewolves and everything. So the governor, so Misery goes and tries to, find a way and to get some air. So she ends up on a balcony, and she thought she was going to be alone, but no. The governor, who owns the mansion and prop territory and stuff that they're in, is, there, and she's like, okay, whatever, he's here. Mm-hmm. And so they go through this situation, and he's talking to her, and he's drunk off his ass, and he tells her, oh yeah, I feel bad for the Moreland, the Alpha Moreland, because his collateral was his mate, Gabby. So Lo traded his mate as collateral for her because he needed this alliance to work. Your face right now.
Well, that's doomed.
Yeah. So the governor tells her that, Gabby is his mate, and that's who was traded. So it goes through this whole thing. She moves in with him. She finds out that he's got a little sister called Anna. Anna is sweet and loving and adorable, and she constantly bugs Misery. Anna is 7. He takes care of his little sister, though, because his mom and his dad are dead. His mom and dad were killed in a vampire-human attack war thing.
I mean, he could have put his sister up as collateral.
You'll learn why he didn't do that in a second. First of all, also, that's his sister. He ain't gonna put his 7-year-old sister up for collateral. The mate is at least an adult. So she ends up overhearing and finding out that there's a group called the Loyalists that don't want them to have any kind of even footing or anything. They want to be away from everything, and they want to constantly fight the vampires because of how everything turned out. So Misery goes and decides she's gonna snoop through Lo's laptop. She picks the lock into his office. She starts snooping and writing code and everything, and he catches her. He walks straight in and catches her doing this. And she looks at him, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I wanted to check my email. I wanted to just check my email." He goes, "That doesn't look like email." She goes, Well, and he goes, it definitely doesn't look like Yahoo. And she goes, Yahoo? How old are you? She's like, who uses Yahoo? So they have a fun little back and forth, and he realizes what she's searching for. And that she's searching for Serena and stuff, because he's got his own little hacker that comes in and, sees what she's searching for and everything. And so he tells him what she's searching for and all these things. And so she tells him, hey, like, I need help finding her. And your name came up. Your name came up as a way to track her. And he goes, okay, I'll help you find her. Like, you're not a captive here. Like, I'm not trying to do something bad to you. You're my wife, technically. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything to you. They have separate rooms and everything as well. He's like, I'm just trying to make sure that, one, you're protected, but two, that I can help, like, that this alliance works. And so he's trying to help her.
He's an idealist.
He is, but he's also just really sweet. And you then find out, and he said, okay, you've given me this. I'm going to tell you something about Anna. He goes, she's a hybrid.
Oh.
Anna is half werewolf, half human. It's why she can't shift yet. It's why she's hidden, and it's why he's doing this alliance, so that she doesn't have to deal with this. And so that he can get more information. So, he needs to find out a little bit more information, and it leads him to the Loyalists. The Loyalists believe that the previous Alpha that Lo killed in a battle to get the Alpha title should have stayed, and his ideals were the ideals. The Alpha's mate, the ex-Alpha's mate, is the head of basically the Loyalists. They have to go to her territory and snoop through her computer, and Lo sucks at computers. Like, royally sucks at computers. So she's like, hey, bring me with you. Like, bring me with you. I can help you. And he goes, that's not going to work. I have to protect you. I have to do this. And she goes, no, bring me with you. He goes, fine, you can come with me. And so they hop in a plane. And he's the pilot of said plane.
Of course.
Which she's like, what? So they go, and she also is technically nocturnal, by the way.
Duh.
So, and on top of that, somebody tries to kidnap Anna, and she has, like, this little soft spot for Anna. There's a lot that's happened that I'm not trying to get into because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But, so she gets, she sees somebody trying to lead Anna away and into the woods, and so she legitimately runs out in the middle of daylight, the middle of the day, and tries to save her, and literally saves her from getting kidnapped. And he's like, this is when he's like, yeah, I can trust you. You can trust me, all this fun stuff. Because she put her life on the line for this child. It was fully a trap to try to get the guy to lead them back to where the Loyalists were so that he could find out who he was working with. But she ruined that, but that's okay. Because he was like, at least I know this. So they end up going to the Loyalists, the leader of the Loyalists, who they suspect to be the leader of the Loyalists, I will say. She is, in fact, you do learn later on in the book, she is, in fact, the leader of the Loyalists. But they go, and they're sitting in the cockpit of this plane, and he goes, so this is the part where you're not going to like this. And she goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I have to make you smell like me so they don't hurt you, because you're my wife. And she goes, well, what does that entail? He goes, come sit on my lap. And so she sits on his lap. And he tells her, he goes, wares have glands, scent glands, on their neck, and on their wrists, and like there's another one on the back of their neck and on their spine. He goes, you don't because you're a vampire. He goes, but those spots, your blood still pumps a little bit closer to the surface, so it's warmer, so it'll collect the scent still. So he licks her in these spots and like kisses her in these spots, like open mouth kiss. It sounds so awkward, and I know this, but it's not
incredibly awkward.
I know, but she actually really likes it, and she's like, oh, why does this feel good? And like, why is this whole thing? So he does this, and then they go and they're sitting at dinner, and then he asks her, do you need to go eat? Like, you know, whatever. Like, come on, are you hungry? Like, my love, are you hungry, my love? Let's go take you, you know. So this was, they're out to, like, get into the lady's office to, like, snoop her laptop, and she's sitting there, like, typing away, and then they hear the guards as the thing's going, and it still has a couple minutes, and she's like, oh, shit, like, what do we do? And he goes, and she goes, hold on, I have an idea. And she blacks out the screen, and he goes, you're supposed to be feeding right now. Like, we don't have it. And she goes, and he goes, bite me. And she goes, what? Why can't I just put my face there and act like, he's like, they're wares, they're gonna be able to smell it. Just bite me. And she does. And he gets off, he, like, really likes it. And she also really likes feeding from him, and she orgasms from feeding from him. Because that's a vampire thing. Fun fact. If in this book is if they bite directly and drink from the vein, they're gonna get orgasmic things from it. So they do that, and they both finally realize that they are, in fact, each very attracted to each other. They're both attracted to each other. So they get back. Lo had already found out that Misery really likes peanut butter, and she's not supposed to be able to eat human food. It doesn't do anything to her. It's eating for pleasure, and she really likes creamy peanut butter.
Gross.
So she eats the peanut butter. Do you not like peanut butter?
I mean, I eat it, but it's not like people who eat, like, obsessive amounts of peanut butter are weird.
How dare you? I totally don't have Costco peanut butter. Leave me alone. Anyway. So someone tries to actually poison Misery through her peanut butter.
How rude.
But they don't know if it was Misery that was the target or Anna that was the target. Because if Anna was the target, because Anna also eats peanut butter. And she's, like, known to eat peanut butter all the time. So they don't know which one of them was actually the target. And the poison that they used would harm both a were and a vampire. So because she gets poisoned, he gets all protective, and he's like, ooh, no. And so they get real nice and cozy and close. And then they decide to trick the governor into having them over by telling him that it's because they wanted to thank him for allowing them to have their wedding in his territory. You know, be all nice and sweet. Then they use this as an in to press him for information regarding Serena because they figured out he was connected. Also, is it L.E. Moreland? L.H. Moreland is not Lo, by the way. It's Anna because her real name is Liliana. So it has to do with her, which is why they're really confused. And they think that Serena found her name and is, like, going after her for a story, and then realized it's a child and didn't want to go after that, but then realized that she's so far deep in so many, like, enemies and things, causing issues. So, because of this, then she actually gets to meet with her brother, and he brings the collateral from the wolves so that, you know, Lo can see her and stuff. His mate.
Awkward. Unless she's not actually his mate.
Gabby, Lo's mate, comes with him. Comes with the brother, Owen. This is when Misery, based on their interaction, starts to realize that the governor didn't actually know what the hell he was talking about, and it's really not his mate at all. Gabby is not his mate, and this is when she actually starts to realize that she might be his mate.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how he reacts to her and how, like, you know, sweet
Why
and loving
doesn't
and cute
he
it
realize
is.
this?
He does.
Oh, he's hiding. How rude.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying.
So then Misery is drugged and kidnapped by her bodyguard Mick.
Good lord.
And is taken to the same place as Serena. She finds Serena.
Well, that's one way to find her.
Serena was kidnapped. So they, get kidnapped, and Serena and Misery fight their way out. They find out that Mick really is only doing this because the big bad man has his son, and so he's kind of like got dirt over top of him, and Mick really likes Serena, and it's really sad because Mick actually raised Lo from the time that he was like a child. So it's really sad. The big bad, they leave this attic. They leave this attic and find out that they're in the nest.
It's her dad.
Because it's Serena's dad. Also, her brother is planning on, like...
You mean Misery's
not
dad?
Serena's dad, sorry. Misery's dad. Serena is an orphan. It's not Serena's dad.
I saw that coming.
So, well, yeah. So, Owen, I believe it's Owen, is her brother's name, is going to try to overthrow the father on the council.
So her brother likes her.
Yeah, her brother likes her.
Okay, that's good. I thought maybe
her brother's probably the only one that does actually like her. But I won't spoil the rest of that. But yes, they do have a happy ever ending. But the dad is actually the one that very rudely... Oh, no, not the dad. Mick. Mick is actually... Well, Mick tells the dad. But dad is the one who very rudely tells Misery that she's Lo's mate, and that this will be really entertaining to watch. And sometimes you just have to make sacrifices for the greater good of all. Yeah. Yeah, it's messed up. And then at the end of the book, they bring Serena back to Lo's territory, and Serena meets Anna, because at the end of the book, you kind of find out that Serena is not human, and Serena is also a hybrid, so they're kind of using her to figure out what's going to happen to Anna. And that's why she found Anna's name, and that's why she was looking, because she found out she's a hybrid, and she's like, what the hell is going on? Because her blood is still red, it's not green. But she can transform into a wolf.
Oh.
So, at the very end, though, you are reading this, and you're like, okay, cool. And then Lo's bestie, who was holding Anna as a safety thing, because he had sent Anna away for her protection after Misery got poisoned. So, as the protection and everything, he had her, and his name is Cohen, and he's an alpha of his own pack, and when he gets there, he realizes that Serena is his mate.
No.
So it's very cute, it's very sweet, and we're about almost 40 minutes into this episode, and we're just now getting to the second book, which I'm gonna say this is pretty good timing for Kate.
Considering, yes.
Considering. Also, it got real dark in here.
Time change.
And I don't want to brighten it too much because the light is really harsh. So we're just going to keep it here. So sorry, guys. You're just going to see my face, and my shirt will blend in with the background.
Just keep rolling.
Okay. Just keep rolling. Okay. Do you have any questions about Bride before we move on to Mate?
I don't think so. It sounds better than it started to. I'm still salty,
it is very good.
But, yes.
Why are you still salty?
Because I don't like slow burns.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I say it's a slow burn, but there's a lot of tension and like moments that they have, And it's like they get to know each other before it's like a bad. It's a very good build. She builds very well, and it's not just like a let me slow everything down and like take 3 years
as long as
and
it's
all this.
good tension and not.
It is. And it's not. The book isn't that thick. I feel like I didn't show this. I have this copy. I just don't have the mate copy in physical copy, because physical form. But it's not that thick of a book. I think mate might actually be longer. Based on my notes, I'd hope it is, because I have a lot more notes for that one. I'm a little partial to the specialty werewolfy stuff, so that might be why. Lo at the end, Lo does mate with her and Mark Misery, and there is a knot. And you learn in the first book that the knots don't actually show up unless they meet their mate.
No.
So the knots don't exist until they meet their mate. And it only happens with their mate. So, yeah, you can totally hear my dog playing.
I hear
in the
puppy
background.
squeaks.
You do hear puppy squeaks. Puppy will be a year old on the 20th.
Oh.
Puppy will be a year old soon. It's very, very cute, very cute. Okay. Now we get into Serena Paris and Alpha Cohen Alexander. Okay. They are, in fact, mates. But Cohen tells everybody that she rejected him.
Why?
Because technically she's a hybrid and she doesn't really know what mates is. She only kind of feels it. She doesn't actually.
So they don't get together? The audacity.
We're gonna keep going now.
We're
gonna keep going now.
No, I'm mad now.
So, we find out Serena has been by herself and hiding in a cabin because she can't shift.
I thought she did shift.
She did. She can't
but
shift
now she
anymore.
can't because her mate's a douche.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. That's not why, but okay.
I mean, that's how it works in others. You get rejected.
So,
or not
because Serena... because Serena's a hybrid wolf, and this thing is kind of coming out that hybrids exist, she wants to be able to hide on Anna as much as possible from the world, because Anna's a child, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to hide her and keep her safe. So she actually does a lot of interviews, like worldwide interviews on TV stations and everything to, one, bring awareness that the species can in fact exist and coexist together. But two, to hide Anna. That's like her main thing, is to hide Anna. So this obviously puts a target on her back from vampires, other wolves, and humans alike. I can hear your phone.
It's after hours.
That's fine. So she's got literally a bounty on her head, no matter where she goes. So I will say this part of the notes is going to seem a little jumbled, but this is how it's talked about in the book, because she does like flashbacks and things to like how they met and back and forth. So it does talk about when she first met Cohen, he lied to her about what a mate actually is. And just told her it's just something sexual, because Misery doesn't really know how to explain it properly, and she didn't think to ask Lo. So,
I mean, that would have been the obvious.
So he thinks that, he told her that it was just like a sexual attraction, and that's all it is, and it's just like a forced sexual biological attraction, because hey, they could technically, they would be good partners in that sense. They would be compatible sexual partners.
What a douche.
So this is why she can't shift. Serena's dying.
Why?
She she has something called a cortisol surge disorder, which is a werewolf disorder. And she wakes up in the middle of the night sweating and in excruciating pain. And she has to get into like cold baths, and she often passes out, and she vomits, and like it's really bad. She's like in a lot of pain, and it happens every night.
What the heck?
Yeah. So
I better
she
make
ends
Bond
up-
could help.
So, no, actually, not with the cortisol surge disorder, not with CSD. You might hear me call it CSD. So she does end up at Cohen's territory, and he drags her there to his house because he finds out that she can't shift.
The audacity. Uh-oh. Where did I go?
Your recording
back.
apparently. Your recording apparently has warnings, so hopefully it works. Oh god. Hopefully this works. Anyway.
Well.
So she ends up at Cohen's territory in his house because he finds out that she can't really protect herself because there was a whole scrimmage with a vampire. And he comes and protects her, and he's like, "You're real lucky that I was here." And she goes, "Hi, honey." She's like, "Oh, joy, look at me getting protected by my mate." And he's like, I'm not your mate, you're my mate. It's different.
Oh, okay. Douche canoe.
So he convinces her that she is his, but he's not hers, and that she'll find her mate one day, and this and that.
What a jerk.
Because he
Why
thinks
is
that.
this-
So to be fair, in his defense, he really
No.
thinks that's it because she's a hybrid.
No.
He doesn't think that it's reciprocated because of how she reacts to him. Because she doesn't
Bull.
have that reaction.
Malarkey.
Anyway, so she ends up at Cohen's territory. She wakes up in the middle of the night still there, sweating in excruciating pain. Right. This happens. But she finds out that she's probably from Cohen's pack territory based on her DNA. So based
And,
on
you
like
know,
her family
being
DNA.
mated to him. Because they're nearby
Misery
each
was
other.
mated to Lo, and she's definitely not from his pack territory.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
So she steals pillows and blankets from his room on the first night.
Because they smell good. Because he's her mate.
She's in his house, especially since he sleeps outside. So she steals them because he sleeps outside to guard her in his wolf form. And so she's like, "You don't need these. I need these," and takes them. When she gets sick again at his house, she ended up going to his bed and falling back asleep there. She also sweat through his sheets and stole his flannel because it was comfy. In the morning, she got dressed, and her clothes felt super uncomfortable, so she stole one of Cohen's shirts and put it underneath her clothes, and it made her feel better.
You know, because he's her mate.
Her theory is that his scent makes everyone in his pack safe. Like, feel safe.
Sure is.
Because he's the
sweetie?
alpha.
Nope. Incorrect. Ha.
So, because she sweat through all of his stuff, though, she's like, "Oh, I have to wash all of this." So she strips the sheets and everything and throws them in the washer and stuff like that. Washes all of his stuff. Because she can't let him know that she crawled into his bed and slept there all night.
You know, because it
'Cause she
calls to
thinks-
her.
Because she
'Cause
thinks
it's her
this is
mate.
just... Because she thinks this is just sexual. She's aware that they're mates. But she
And
doesn't
that's-
think that it's the same thing. She doesn't
My
think
God.
that it's what it actually is.
Why is there not like Werewolf Anatomy 101?
She grew up with humans. There is, if you actually grow up in a pack.
Okay, but somebody should educate her.
But he's trying to keep her in the dark because he doesn't want her to know. Because Amanda, one of Cohen's seconds, tells Serena that it can't be easy for Cohen to live with his mate. Serena is curious why, as Cohen told her he doesn't want her and nothing will happen between them. Amanda tells her that he's pretty much just super horny all the time. And Serena states that they aren't together, so he could go relieve himself of it with someone else, and that she could make herself scarce from the cabin if she needs to. Amanda is very confused by this, because she's confused as to why Cohen himself didn't tell Serena that part of being the alpha of his territory is the fact that he had to take a celibacy covenant.
Well, I do like that they can't be man whoring around. That always annoyed me.
Yes. So he can't go and have a family and treat and only think about them over his pack. He needs to be focused on his pack. And they have a council that actually oversees that. So if something like that happens, they can take an alpha out of
Wait, but what if he gets a mate? So even if he gets a mate, he can't?
Yep, he has to tell them that he got a mate and that nothing will happen. And they are really mad that she is living with him, by the way.
What kind of nunnery is this?
But Cohen's type of alpha, the way he leads his pack is, fuck you, I'm not hurting anybody. Also, fuck you, I'm not letting her get hurt because she's a hybrid and not just my mate. This is because she's a hybrid and not just my mate, and guess what? We haven't fucked. So you're fine.
But, like, this whole thing is very confusing to me because there's just so much.
Anyway, so Serena gets back to the cabin after her little rendezvous, right? After her walk with Amanda. She finds the flannel that she stole from Cohen that she sweat through and stuff. She didn't put it in the washer, like she thought she had. And so she scrambled to grab it and to go run, to throw it into the washer, when Cohen came home and stood very still and told her under no circumstances to run. She needed to very calmly walk to the washer to throw it inside, and she could not run because it would make him chase her.
Because they're mates.
He was still pretty much frozen when she came back. And he finally, calmed down eventually. And then Serena finally convinced Cohen to let her give him a haircut / makeover. Because he's, full lumberjack is what she calls him. Lumberjack chic. Also, he took her to get clothes because she needed clothes.
Well,
and
nice.
She was like, cool, I can wear this and this. And she's like, all these materials, react with my CSD. This sucks. And she ended up never even wearing the clothes anyway. She steals Cohen's all the time.
Naturally.
So, and he doesn't mind. Actually, he makes snarky little comments about it. At one point, because when she was doing this, after she was done, she's giving him, she's shaving, she's trimming up his beard and his hair. I can't talk sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
She's trimming up his hair and his beard. The council walks in on them doing this. Basically just very homey, housey, playing housey things, right?
Domestic.
To which the council then oversees the alpha's leadership to make sure he doesn't do corrupt things like we talked about. And to make sure he doesn't break the covenant and form any types of bonds with anyone.
Why can't the alpha have a family?
Because they don't want him to put his family above the pack, because his whole job is to sacrifice for the pack.
This is the most demented werewolf pack I've ever heard of.
So, most of the packs, like Lowe's pack, got rid of the covenant. Not the covenant. Got rid of the covenant? Yeah, the covenant. Got rid of it. This one didn't because of some stuff in the past, okay? There are reasons, and I don't want to spoil them too bad. You need to read the book. It's so good, Cecily.
They're bad reasons.
They're not, actually.
They are.
They're really not.
They are.
But I promise you need to read it. Anyway.
No, they're bad reasons.
They're not. Anyway.
I've decided.
So, they have to make sure he doesn't break the covenant and form any kinds of bonds with anyone. And so they come by while she's doing, the trimming to confirm that they are, in fact, not boning, since they do live together.
Obviously
He
not.
legitimately is, like, they're trying so nicely to put, like, it in very normal, like, council-appropriate terms, and she said, he's like, they want to make sure we're not fucking. And she goes, I am very sadly unfucked, so I think you're good. I love them. They are both such sarcastic and, like, spitfire little shits. And I love them.
So he doesn't want to give up being the alpha.
No, he doesn't. Because his pack needs him, and there's reasons behind it.
Covenant.
He's been alpha since he was 15 years old. Because his mother
covenant.
was alpha, and his mother died.
Get rid of the covenant.
So, the next day, Cohen takes her to a doctor. Because they found out she might be part of his pack, from her DNA traces. So, this doctor has delivered literally every single baby in the pack. And he's, like, really good at remembering scents and all that fun stuff, right? So he can't remember her, but says that because of her hybrid genes, she might have changed scents. The doctor, however, doesn't call her a hybrid. He calls her a halfling instead of a hybrid, to which she decides she likes better because it makes her seem less like a car. So she gets overwhelmed at the doctor's, so she goes outside to get some air while telling Cohen that she'll be fine by herself. She goes outside and a strange teenage boy comes out of the woods and calls her Ava and tells her that the prophecy foretold her and that she needed to come home with him.
The fuck?
She very much tells this boy, hey, you need to just not be here because someone who is a lot less nice and a lot less patient than me won't take you very kindly. Talking about Cohen. She's like, he's in the house right now. I can literally just scream and get him. And he's like, and so when he steps out, he goes, I can be nice, but she's right. I'm really not that patient.
But her name is Ava, and there is a prophecy, isn't there?
So, Cohen finds her outside with this boy and gets very angry about it. And he starts questioning the boy. What are you doing here? What are you talking about? Like, all these things. Serena tells him she's not leaving with him, and Cohen protects her, stating the same. And so the boy jumps off a cliff and dies at the bottom because of the very sharp rocks. Big cult vibes here.
What the hell?
I
wasn't expecting that.
I told you, it's so good. Anyway, culty vibes.
Good God.
So Cohen tells her about Constantine.
Why did he jump off the cliff?
He's part of a cult, Cecily. He's part of a cult.
So what? She wouldn't come back and he has to jump off the cliff?
So you learn later on that he was told not to come back.
Without her?
Without her, or else he shouldn't. If he doesn't get her, don't worry about coming back. So he was like, well, I got nowhere else to go. Let me jump.
Jeez.
So they do test his DNA to see if it's a match for her. It's not. She's not related to the boy. So Cohen tells her about Constantine, who was a leader of a cult. Serena is curious as to why they want her so bad, and Cohen tells her that her name doesn't matter because she's like, my name is Ava, apparently. She's having a little bit of freak out. And he tells her, and Cohen tells her that her name doesn't matter and that she'll always be his killer. Because that's what he calls her, is killer. Because he called her kid first when he first met her. And she said, I feel like that's not an appropriate thing considering the whole mate thing. And she goes, you got something else? And he's like what? And she goes, I don't know, something with some teeth. And he goes, root canal? She goes, you know what I mean, something that inflicts fear. And he goes, okay, killer. So that's where killer comes from. And it's very cute. And he calls her killer all the time. And then they get back home. And she goes to bed. And he walks in on her being sick in the bathroom as she's looking at her eyes because her eyes are all messed up and changed. She doesn't know what's going on. He's super caring and helps her be in the ice cold water in the bathtub. And she falls
freaking out. Does her friend know?
No, she won't tell her.
She won't tell Misery what's going on because she
No.
would try to find stuff out.
Yep, and she's written like notes and stuff for them, which he finds after these. And he's like real upset about her. Because she did not tell him. She didn't tell anybody. She's been hiding this from him too, and he didn't know, and he got really pissed at her. So she falls asleep against him in the bathtub because he pretty much just holds her in the bathtub. And now Cohen knows that she's sick and dying because in the morning he makes her tell him what the hell that was, because he told her, he was like, I didn't know if you were gonna wake up, and I need you to tell me what's going on. And so she tells him that she has CSD, and he questions why she hasn't been treated for it, since it is treatable, and she says in wares it can be treated, but since she's a hybrid, it doesn't respond to treatment, and the doctor said it was that she was incompatible with life. That the disease made her incompatible with life.
You just need to do more tests to make it work for a hybrid.
So they did. They did all of these things, and that's the issue. They conferred with specialists. They tried different medications, different treatments, everything. He's pissed because he's like, how long do you have to live? She goes, at most 6 months. And she goes, and that was 2 months ago. And he's like, what? He goes, what about how little? And she goes, 3 months. And he's like, you have a month left. And he goes, and you were going to leave those notes, those letters? Like, that's all you were going to leave? He's like, does Misery know? Does Lo know? Does Ava, like, does Anna know? Like, does anybody know besides, she's like, no, just the doctor and me, and now you. And he's like, I don't accept this.
So, Maitland would help. Feeling like a broken record over here.
He obviously, I know you do. So he obviously found out about the
I
letters.
hope all of our audience knows what a record is.
So she obviously tells him about the letters and talks to him about it. And then she says that when she's gone, Misery might be mad, but that she'll get over it because she has her family now. She has her own little family now. And they'll help her through it. And Cohen looks at her and says, if you think that I'm just going to let you die, Serena, you know fuck all. So he takes her to another doctor afterwards. The doctor at his pack, because this was the doctor at Lo's pack that gave her this stuff. The doctor agrees that she's not in good health. Cohen is very angry that they can't cure her, especially since she's in so much pain, with the fevers adding to it. When they come out of the doctor's office, Cohen is still pissed, but Serena tells him she's resigned to it and that she's come to terms with the fact that she's dying, that there's nothing to be done, and that she's just happy she can see the people she loves and cares about taken care of. She does wish she could live and spend more time with them and in his territory because it's so beautiful. But sadly, she knows that that's not an option. Then she says, if today is my last day, I'd be happy to have spent it with you. So she feels this bond. She knows she likes him. She just wants, but she knows that she can't have him because of this covenant. And he doesn't say anything back, but he does grab the back of her neck and just pulls her and holds her. Misery calls her after this and tells her about the cult, because Misery still doesn't know that she's sick. The cult was promising humans to become werewolves. The cult believes that wolves are the highest type of species, so Constantine's idea to get humans to join the ranks was to promise them the ability to become weres. Plus more stuff, as well as that they think Constantine made Serena into a werewolf when she was born. So they think Serena is like the prophecy, the head of the prophecy. They think that Serena was made into a werewolf after she was born by Constantine, and that was like his last thing before he died, and she's the prophecy miracle, whatever. Then when she starts to get another fever, okay, so this is later on after she's been told all this and everything, at night she starts to get another fever, and she realizes that touching Cohen and smelling him makes her feel better.
Oh.
Then she realizes she really wants to fuck him.
Oh.
But he won't be But he won't, because obviously Covenant. But he does lick her on the back of her neck. And he gets horny, like, as fuck as well. Still doesn't do anything. He tells her he has to, because remember, they have the glands and everything all over their neck and the back of their neck and stuff like that in their scent glands, which means he's literally just, like, tasting her smell, which he's absolutely fucking obsessed with, and she is obsessed with his smell as well.
Because they're mates.
Yeah, that's exactly why. He tells her he has to leave, and she doesn't want him to, and then he says, fuck it, after she asks for someone to help her, either him or someone, even though she hates the idea of anyone else doing anything to her, but she's like, I just need this to stop. Then he takes her to the bed, and while she's touching herself, because he still won't touch her, he holds her and then licks her neck again, and they keep going, and then he teaches her about where glands, which is why when he licks them, it drives her crazy, and she has her lick him as well, and that, like, sends her over the edge, you know, the whole thing, because she can, like, legitimately just taste what he smells like, and then he talks about where he'd bite her if he could, and she asks him where she could bite him, and that just, like, little worm in his head now, that she does want him, and she does want that, and that she probably is. And she probably does actually feel that mate bond that he thinks that she doesn't feel.
Duh.
Then they have a cute little cuddling moment. Okay. Then she feels really bad about what she did to him because she was in, like, this weird little, like, sicky haze thing. And he reassures her that he was completely okay with what they did, even though it did partially break the covenant. But nobody has to know. Because he still didn't get off. So it doesn't really matter. The doctor calls them when they wake up in the morning. And the doctor decides, hey, I'm going to switch Serena's care to my wife. Because she's a midwife. Because Serena is in fact not dying. She does not have CSD, guys. Serena just went into estrus.
So she's been in heat the whole fucking
Due to
time.
being around Cohen. It's also known as heat. So being around her mate.
That was the next thing I was about to say. I'm like, sick haze. It sounds more like heat haze.
You're welcome.
Some bullshit.
So basically, because she was around Cohen, it sent her body into, you know.
Because you're supposed to accept your mate.
Yeah. Anyway.
Stress levels.
So she tells the doctor to make it.
In my room,
so I'm sorry. She tells the doctor to make it not happen. She does not want to go through heat. She does not want to put Cohen through that because she does not want to do anything with anybody besides Cohen. But she also knows that she can't ask Cohen to give up his entire alpha title and his entire well-being, like the thing that he's done for years and that everybody needs him to do for her. So she asks the doctor just to do something, and she says, yes, I can give you a shot tomorrow to help stop it.
What kind of quack-ass doctor they have in Misery's pack that told her she was dying and not compatible with
To
life?
be fair, the wife was the only one that realized it. The other doctor also thought she was still dying, but he had talked to his wife about it, and his wife was like, did you check this level? Is that high? Yeah, she's not dying. She's in heat. It's probably from meeting Cohen. Can we get a chance to think about this for a second?
You know, even in the werewolf world,
because they saw
health is garbage.
So because they saw the cortisol rise really high, but they didn't check her estrogen levels and estrol levels or whatever, which is the whole, like, yes, they want to make.
You can't even get good medical care in the werewolf world.
No. So Cohen is already so far gone for this girl, though. Obviously, that's his mate, and she's in heat, and he just smells her in heat, and he knows what she tastes like, and she's like, God damn. But he struggles to keep himself from attacking her due to her heat because he wants to. But he still helps her through her little heat spots by doing little things that he's not supposed to do.
At this point, sir, get rid of the covenant.
Because Cohen does give permission to the doctor to give her a shot. Because Cohen's like, yeah, no, I don't want her with anybody else, but I can't be with her. But she also doesn't want to be with anybody else, so I'm going to allow it. He offered to find her somebody else, and told her, like, I will probably have to be chained up in a basement, poured concrete. But you can do that if you need to. Anyway, he's like, I will get over it eventually. So when she gets to the clinic, Cohen tells her all about his history and why he's alpha and why it's important. And it all centers around saving his pack from the cult. It also explains why the covenant is important to him, and she agrees she will leave after she gets the shot and gets the answers she needs. So she's like, I'm not going to torture you for this. She's like, I'm not going to torture you for this. So she goes into the clinic. He's working on getting rid of the cult. He's been working on getting rid of the cult. She goes into the clinic, and the doctor is being held hostage, and she gets kidnapped by the cult.
Naturally.
The cult is now run by Constantine's sister, Irene, who tells her that she isn't just from the cult, but that she is Constantine's daughter and the answer to fixing their community.
Of course.
Which is why she's half were, because Constantine was a were and her mother was human.
But of course.
The kidnapping is weird, though, because they don't tie her up or lock her up at all. She's not stuck there. She can leave whenever she wants. They told her, we have cars, you can take a car, we don't care, you can go, you can run, you do what you want to do. You want to leave, you can leave, that's fine. They just drugged her to kidnap her, and they offered her tea, and she's like, I'm not drinking that, you've already drugged me once, and she's like, yeah, I understand, I'm so sorry, that's the only way we could get you here, because that alpha of yours doesn't really like people very much, and he's very protective of you, by the way. So Irene gives Serena a photo of her mother, and Serena just keeps wanting to look at it, okay? Her mother's name was Fiona, and she realizes that she looks like her mom. Slightly different, but she does look like her mom. Like, almost splitting image. And she just keeps showing Serena more and more photos, but she also keeps calling Serena Ava. Even though Serena said, I would prefer you call me Serena. She tells her she has wares that will help service her during her heat, because she knows about her heat. But also tells her that Cohen will be on his way and be there shortly, because Irene wants him to know and watch, I guess. I don't know. It's something weird, because he's the reason that Constantine is dead. He's also the reason that her mother is dead.
Oh.
But remember, Serena's also kind of the reason that his mom is dead. And so many of his pack members were killed.
Well, that's a cluster.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck. So they actually make her put ceremonial markings on her body. So the ceremonial mating markings that they had on Misery in the last book when her and Lo got married. And that's like a big thing for wares. Like, don't do that. So she gives Serena a letter from her mother to read. Irene does. And when she finishes reading the letter, Cohen shows up. And that's when you find out that Cohen killed Serena's mother, and he killed Serena's father, obviously, because bitch. And when she gets back, because Cohen does save her, obviously, and they work out a thing, and she cuts Cohen's, because Irene tries to make her kill Cohen, and instead she's just like, I'm so sorry, like, I have to do this, I'm so sorry, and he's just like, just sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna just let you do it, because you're my mate, and I love you, and like, I can't do anything about it. He doesn't say that, but it's like a very big feeling of like, I'm not gonna do anything. And this is where she really realizes how deep a mating bond starts to go.
Duh.
And that he's really lied to her, and that he really does like her a lot. So instead of, cutting him and stabbing him with a knife that he gave her. He gave her a pink penguin knife because she told him that she needed to go back to the cabin to get a stuffy that Anna had given her, which was a pink penguin stuffy. That didn't exist, but he remembered it and he got her a pink penguin knife to make up for it. And it was a very cute moment. He was like, if I'm not around, here's a pocket knife. It was very kind of cute. Anyway. So he saves her, because she, cuts off his stuff, all that, cuts off the ropes instead of, keeping her. So when they get back, because Cohen saves her, she's told she can't have the injection because she's too close to actually going into heat. She missed her injection window.
Of course.
This is when the doctor also tells her that Cohen is going to actually see her through her heat and that he'll be there and, be a part of it. And that no one is going to tell the assembly about it. So the assembly and council and stuff, they're not going to know about it. But she does reiterate, the doctor does reiterate that they get this one time and then it's kind of just like getting Cohen on a loan. She's got to give him back at the end. Because they need him in as their alpha. And that's it, because they know that she wouldn't expect someone else. She wouldn't accept someone else besides Cohen, and Cohen wouldn't allow anybody else to be there for her during it. So all the doctor does is give her contraceptives so she doesn't get pregnant and tells her to take them after they're done with their mating haze, like the heat cycle. She then learns after the first round of mating that knots exist. And then they have a fuck fest for a few days, because obviously the mating thing. He loves that she smells like him, and she loves smelling like him, and he gets really upset that she wants to wash it off, that she wants to take a shower, because she says that she stinks, and she doesn't like it, because she's smelly, and, she's gross. She's like, I'm sweaty, I'm gross, let me go, let me go shower. And he's like, I don't want you to shower. You smell like me, and I know that you're not going to forever smell like me, and I'm going to have to give you up, and I just want you to smell like me for right now. And she's like, how about this? I'm not going anywhere. We're not done yet. Why don't we go take a shower together, and then right after I'm done showering, you can make me smell like you again. He's like, fine. And he's all grumpy about it, but he does it. So at the last time, because she can kind of tell that when the last time was based on the fact that she's kind of not so much hazy and it's more so fun for her, but she's still there, but it's not quite there. So at the last time they're together, she tells him that she loves him, and and then after that he thinks he should be torn apart by the two responsibilities he has to his mate and to his pack, but it just makes him feel completely whole now that he got to do this with her. He tells her he almost marks her a couple times while they're doing that too. Mm-hmm. Because he wants to really mark her on the back of her neck where she can't hide it, under clothing and stuff. And he wants her to bite him right under his jaw so that everybody can see it, and that it's basically he is hers and he wants everybody to know it. He's so far gone for this girl. And he said that he hated the fact that he found her and that she was literally perfect. He was like, I couldn't stop it and you were perfect and I couldn't stop thinking about you. And then he also made a comment about the fact that the world was cruel because he put this girl with perfect, front things in front of him, and he wasn't allowed to touch him. And that she had the most perfect set that he'd ever seen. Anyway, and that he was obsessed with them. So he tells her when she wakes up and is out of her heat haze that he's going to step down from his position because he wants to be with her.
Good.
He said he was resigned with living without the person, like, he was okay with living without the person that he loved because it was just him, but that he wouldn't do that to her. He wouldn't make her live without the person she loved. So he was going to do it and suffer by himself, but he can't do that to her. So he's stepping down and he just wants to be with her.
It feels like some kind of weird reverse gaslighting moment.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like,
okay, so...
suffer, but I'm not going to make you suffer, even though we would both be suffering.
No, they wouldn't both be suffering. He's very much happy with her. And would we like to keep going, or would we like to cut it there so that you don't know the ending?
I mean, you're already an hour 20 in.
Yeah.
This book did just come out.
This is fair. They should have already left if they didn't want spoilers. To be fair, there's only like 5 chapters left to cover, so to be fair.
I'm just...
So I will... Do we want to get into it or no?
The whole time.
Do we want to get into the ending or no?
The whole time.
The whole time what?
The whole time! They were mates! It was he. She was not dying of some mystical illness. This is utter bullshit.
Okay, so do you want to know the ending or not?
I'm mad now. Yes? Gosh. Is that even a question?
Yes. Okay, so basically they go and they fight the cult because the cult, they use her as bait and the cult gets her again. And then he uses it to infiltrate the cult and they fight the cult and they win against the cult and they kill Irene because Irene got a little snippy and she takes a bullet for him because Irene tries to shoot him. And so she jumps in front of him in wolf form because she can shift again because they fucked. She's no longer in heat, so she can shift again. And so she shifts and actually jumps in front of the bullet to save him. And so then he's real mad because Irene just shot, his mate and the love of his life. And so he full on kills her. Because he was trying to save someone else. He was trying to save a human and she saved him. And so she woke up and Misery was there and she was pissed because she found out that she was lying to her about dying. And then she was also you didn't tell me about mating. She was like, now also do you want to cut our toenails and, hang out and talk about the whole knot thing? Because this is something we now have in common.
My God.
So they do that and then Misery legitimately says he's going to be pissed when he finds out. And she's like, who are you talking about? And she goes, Cohen, we just convinced him to go home, shower, and take a nap, and you woke up. She's like, he's gonna be pissed. So she gets back into his cabin, his house, and he walks in, and he knows she's awake, and he walks in, and he just looks at her, and she looks at him, and she's like, I can't ask you to step down from this. Like, they need you for this. And he legitimately looks at her because the council people called him into a meeting and he looked at her and he goes, I'm not stepping down. She goes, okay, good. So then I'll go. And he goes, you're not leaving. And she's like, what? And he's like, you took a bullet for me. The council sees that. You're not leaving. He goes, and I'm gonna stay alpha and you are mine and nothing else matters now.
Everything is as it freaking should be.
They broke the covenant for him.
Good.
And
as
so she said, she was real happy. She goes, really? Like, really, really? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, I get to stay here with you. And he goes, yep. And so she, they have a nice little hug and kisses and loves. And then it, like, goes to the epilogue now, right? And he's talking about how he doesn't like leaving her alone and he had to go deal with things and then he came back and she was like, don't ever leave me that long again. And he was gone for like 2 or 3 days. And she's like, I hate when you leave. Don't ever do that. Take me with you next time this all. And he was like so far gone as well. He's like, I can't leave her. And he hasn't marked her yet. So he's like extra crazy. Like, are you okay? Like, you're fine? Like, everything's good? She's like, yes. And so he was talking to his second, one of his seconds, I believe it was Amanda again. Cohen has a bunch of different seconds, but it's not just like a beta or whatever, like one single person. He's got a bunch of them. Amanda just happens to be like his top second. And so he was talking to her, and she's like, why haven't you marked her? And he's like, she hasn't asked me. I don't want to do it if she doesn't want me to.
Oh my gosh.
And so she legitimately, they're like starting to get hot and heavy because he came back, and she straight up just marks his neck, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I should have asked. And he goes, you marked me. And she's like, yeah. And he goes, and then he like sees the blood, like his blood on her mouth and stuff, and he like a little bit gets off to it, and he's like, I'm yours, like you just laid claim, I hope you know what that means. And she goes, yep. And she goes, are you gonna mark me now? And he's like, do you want me to? And she goes, yes. And he flips her around and marks her faster than she can think about it, cause yeah, that's the thing. And then they have a wonderful, beautiful, time after that, and they happy ever after, and they're really cute
After a bunch of bullshit.
I highly recommend reading it. If y'all haven't and you sat through this, please do read it. I try to leave at least a little bit out of these that, like,
if you want to be frustrated.
It's not, though. That's the thing. It flows so nicely that it's not frustration.
Well, I am frustrated.
I highly recommend reading it, Cecily. I don't explain it and give it justice. And this episode was a long episode, so I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, Kate's next episode will not be very long. We're covering 2 books now. 2 Thanksgiving special turkey episodes. Because the U.S., we have Thanksgiving this month. So we're going to be skipping that week.
Some Krampus books for Christmas.
Ooh. So
I can't decide which one yet.
And for our, happy turkey, episode, that's not a very happy. I think I'm going to be laughing my butt off during that episode. But during that episode, we will have a special guest.
Dun, dun, dun.
You have met him before. He was on last season. We're going to have Cecily's husband back on again. Because I like tormenting him with weird books.
He is entertaining.
He is. I will agree to that. And now I gotta edit this monstrosity of an episode. So, bye!
Bye!